Happy Friday and welcome to the weekly recap. I am back and I'm not going to rap. This is episode number 124. Good day, Maddie. How are you?
Hi, Rick. I am doing well, maybe a bit tired. Got back yesterday from Istanbul, as you know, where I went for Veeam tour, Turkey. And it was such a great event, honestly. Danny was there too. And honestly, I had the chance to meet so many people. I met some of our community members, Bulent, Moro, they are systems engineers for Veeam. And they are very involved with the VUG Turkey as well. I met our VUG Turkey leader, Berat, for the first time in person. That was very nice. And they, like all these people, they helped me up, set up a community corner. We're going to show some pictures a bit later on as well. We had some community swag as well that I took from Miami. So that was really, really great. And it was good to talk to some partners as well about community. Some of them, they joined. So that was really, really great overall. But how are you? I can see you are not in your office. Where are you today?
Yeah, no, I'm not in my office. We are in Chicago today, a couple of the team members. There is the AWS Midwest Community Day here in Chicago, which is a bunch of the user groups across the Midwest of the United States. They converge for like a mega user group here today. And Julia on our team, she has a presentation. We're going to go check that out. And it's a little bit early, so I'm not going to lie, Manny just rolled out of bed, but that's what I will do that for the community. And luckily the hair cooperates with me on doing it that way. But no,
Yes,
pretty
great.
busy. But what I like the most here is that I'm really teaching everybody on the team to start stealing stuff from these events and taking it home. Maybe steal isn't the right word, but reallocating and reusing stuff after events. So love to see that happening.
That's
Um,
interesting. I want to hear more on that.
well, if you've seen my office, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, right? Reusing this stuff because so many times it's not used again, and
Yeah. And it's
so
such a shame, right? To throw
yeah,
some things when you can reuse it. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree.
So we have had a massive. We'll start with the pictures. We've had a massive amount of content going in this week. But before we jump to the content, couple of this week in pictures. Maybe it's a new theme that we'll stick with. Looks like Alfred made an appearance in Turkey, and there you are. Help me out. Who is this
Bulan.
one? That's
He's
Boulet.
Bulan. Yes, he was
All
great. He
right.
was actually helped me. He ordered the banner and he set up everything. So thank you, Bulan.
And looks like he's got some razzle dazzle green shoes going on. That looks all pretty
Yeah.
cool. And then over here, who's this?
Is Berat, our BUG leader group?
Us. Got it. Nice, nice. And then over here, we got two more individuals that are hanging out with Alfred. That's
Yes,
nice.
one is Murat. I think he's based in Prague and he's a technical account manager. And then another person I can't really remember. I
Hmm.
remember I talked to him. I can't remember the name
Nowhere.
though.
It happens to the best of us, Maddie.
Yes.
But he's definitely the account manager because he's wearing the jacket, right?
Yes. I think I'm going to see him next week in Bucharest because I'm going to be there for the Vimon tour. So, yeah.
Cool. Looks like another one happened in Italy. Looks like they had some user group action, sign up there, and some grab and go bags. That's cool. And Jos and Maurice rocking out in the Netherlands, looks like.
Yeah, they even have the t-shirts, the VUG group, Netherlands group t-shirt. So that's pretty cool.
Uh, well, not everybody has a T-shirt, but hey, that's good stuff. Well, we'll jump back into the slides because we do have who's new this week. But Maddie, let's start with the first one. Kind of an interesting discussion here from KW Cork. Might be the first name we've called that name.
I believe so, yeah. So basically, he's starting a discussion where apparently he added a mailbox to an existing backup job and he got a bit confused because the mailbox had a 7 GB. But when the job completed, he saw a transfer of 419.6 MB. So it was just like not all the items I would assume. But then he got a good answer, I think, from Danilo. And Danilo has a great point if you look at his comment. And he says it might be because the setup of the retention policy, and he's advising KW Cork to go to the retention policy and check it out in there. So if you go there to that, you will see that Veeam Backup for Microsoft 365 has two types of retention. One is snapshot-based retention. The other one is item-level retention. So it's really important to go over all documentation when you set up something like that. But what is your takeaway on this one?
Yeah, there was a lot of opportunity to provide education here on this when we introduced the new mode. But I'll talk about the the thought here is this: when you look at especially the item level, if we look at that item level retention, for example, and it hasn't changed, say, in a year, and we are only keeping a year, you can see that it might be a gap because it wouldn't be in the year. Little things like that, right? So give a good read on these backups. It's really a good idea to read these retention policies. I'll give Danilo a like for that because that is indeed the best answer. Yeah, we had a lot of internal training on that too when that changed.
Yeah, totally. Actually, KW Cork says something like that saved my bacon.
Yep, that is why we're here, KW Cork.
Yeah.
We are here for the preservation of the bacons.
That's right. There you go.
Love it. I'll give you a like for that. And then, by the way, he got to where he needed to be there too, and that's also a good one, right? He got what he wanted. Cool. That's why we're here. All right, the notorious KGG is back in Kubernetes world with a question over in the K10 support. He's asking about Longhorn and one of the CSI platforms.
I know you prepared a bunch of KBs on the special department news, but I don't think we ever mentioned the Kasten ones. So we have this one to discuss it. Basically, Jeff wants to know if Kasten backups Longhorn are still with issues or without issues. I believe he tried it before and he encountered some issues. But then you have Jay that works for Veeam for doing Kasten K10. And he says that, first of all, for the ones that don't know what Longhorn is, that's a block storage system for Kubernetes. It's free, open source, and you can do a bunch of things with Longhorn. If you go to their page, you're gonna see a set of things that a set of features that Longhorn has, and I'm not gonna go over all that. But Jay advises Jeff in this case to check that KB that refers to the debugging backups with Longhorn CSI. Also, he mentions another issue that was coming from how Longhorn snapshot garbage collection works. So that was not really an issue with K10, but that created some trouble with the snapshot cleanup. And he says that the solution will come later on. He's going to read the post. So Jay, let us know when you have that solution public. Just to do it in here as well in the community. And Jeff, let us know if you tried it and if all the issues that you previously encountered are now gone.
That's right. You tell us you got a draft. We got to know the end of the story. That's for sure. Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Jay Ganesh, Jay. Let's just go with Jay. Thank you, Jeff and Jay. They're outstanding stuff here today. Now, here's a cool one from Scott. And by the way, Scott, how you doing? Nice to hear from you here again. Scott is actually interesting because he backs up some really, really big systems. And he also has a lot of tapes and libraries, and he kind of found something cool.
Yeah, totally. So he put together a script that helps us understand how many times each tape has been loaded and either read or written to see if there is a trend with the oldest one. He's using PowerShell, and he creates this cool thing. I know you were quite impressed with this script, Rick. So what's your takeaway? Are you going to use it? Are you
Oh, I don't
planning
have any
to?
tape. Oh, I don't have any tape,
Oh.
but I do admire this one. So really right here, what he's doing here, he's getting the tape medium, and then he's really loading all of them up with a couple of things, like how much is loaded on the tapes, right? And then he's sorting it, right? It's just simple and beautiful. That's a really
Mhm.
cool tape commandlet, right? So I thought that was outstanding, Scott. So any of you who are using tape, and if you work back to the problem he's trying to solve, looks like he had a few failures, maybe things were filling up, or tapes had been um, rotated through too many, and maybe they were starting to fail, that type of thing. This is a good way to kind of provide some additional visibility for load balancing. So I think this is awesome. All right. Thank you, Scott. Now, I want to go to your post. We've covered this before, but we showed the pictures, but what else can we say about the forums and
Well,
tours?
just basically wanted to mention that this week and the next week they're gonna be like full weeks with Veeam on tour happening. And if you are in any of the countries and cities where these tours are gonna happen, just go to the link, check it out, register and attend it. They are really great opportunities, as I was mentioning earlier, to network with people, to learn, and like also I really really like the venues that these people are choosing. Like our team, our events team, they choose some amazing venues, so you have the chance to be in an amazing venue as well. But mostly it's about the networking and the education. You learn about updates on our products. You meet partners, you meet other customers, so I think this is great. I think next week we're going to have it in Dublin, the
Yep.
20th of June. And then there's the one in Bucharest that I'm going to attend. I'm going to have pictures next week as well on our recap. And then there are a couple more, Switzerland and Germany. Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you, I mean, I've done so many Viewmon tours around the world. I love it when they're, the places they pick, the way the experiences go. It's super fun. If you're in one of these countries, highly recommend you check it out. I am confirmed to be at these two, and I'm scheming two more on the bottom part of this list that I'll share soon. But no, these are great stuff. So definitely check that out. And then, one thing that's actually really fun, we've had this from Vmon, is somebody make a post of pictures from the event. Might even make its way on the recap if
Yeah,
anybody does
totally. That
that.
would Actually, that would be very nice. If you guys attend any of these, just do a post, share some pictures with us. It would be nice to learn from your experience. So just let us know.
Yeah, indeed. So this is officially special department. You guys see, still got many, many tabs, but we're going to get quick, I promise. Speaking of VMon, related to VMon forums and tours, I want to draw your attention to, and I put this at the top of the web page because this is kind of a big deal. So
Mhm.
at VMon, one of the most important pre-registered sessions, the second one, only behind Falco and Jim's M365 session, the second most pre-registered session was this all demo session that I did with Hannes and Christoph Meyer for the Veeam hardened repository. So the important thing here is that I have a video that walks you through all of the options in Linux Ubuntu, and then walks you through the explanation of everything you would want to do and how you would prepare for an installation. And we kind of end it with what you would do in Veeam backup and replication. So somewhat of an end-to-end view of how you would do the hardened repository deployment. No big deal. We've had that out there for a while. You can watch it happen here. But what is really cool is right here on this list. And I want to draw everyone's attention. I need to probably format this and make it pop out a little bit more. We had a lot of feedback from people that, I just don't have the Linux skill. Or I had feedback that I really want the hardened repository, but I want it hardened, but I don't have that Linux skill. So we have made an ISO, and Hannes and Christoph and I kind of had this as a little surprise for Veeam. There's this hardening script that adheres to a federal standard called DISA-STIG, but then also there's this ISO file. Now, together, Maddie, this is really cool. This will just make your hardened repository deployment super easy. You can see there's this, hardened repository banner. All the options are done for you. So if you're looking into the hardened repository, definitely watch both of these videos. But what I want to highlight to you is that once you set up this hardened repository in Veeam right here, then you go back into the final step, and this is important. This one, and I guessed really good. So I'm going to reboot and watch what happens here, Maddie. It reboots as a hardened repository. And the first thing it's going to do is tell you that the system is hardened, as you can see on that list. And you'll see right here, I'm going to skip through. I can't even do some basic commands anymore in Linux. Like right here, I'm going to try to do a DHCP client renew. I'm not allowed anymore. The only commands this account is allowed to do is reboot and update. So think of what I'm calling it the green pill. You take that last reboot, and then that system forever on will only be a Veeam hardened repository because it's super hardened from the OS level also, and you can't do anything else with it except be a Veeam repo. So this is
so you're making it very simple.
Yeah,
like really, really simple for everyone. That's
super
really
simple,
great.
super hardened. I guess I should also highlight this itself is not. Let me see if I can zoom in here and get what Hannes was really clear about. The ISO itself is a community project or a community product, so it only exists here. It doesn't exist on downloads.veeam.com. But if you get this deployed, the VHR is supported after it's configured, but just the ISO itself is not supported.
And then you also got like a lot of comments in there, a lot of discussion happening. I saw on the second page, I think, MR Easy 2, probably that's how you pronounce it. He got some interesting questions in there. I don't know if you managed to reach out to that post and answer, but I think it's way down.
Yeah, Mr. Izzy here. Mr. Izzy 2, I should say. No, I didn't get to this one yet, but we had actually an outage with the community site yesterday, so I kind of let it go for a bit. But Hannes has an update as well. I was chatting with him about it because we found something here that Der Regnor and the other person in front of that we want to get something to. But I'll get Mr. Izzy. I'll get you sorted out here by the time we publish. But if you're thinking about the ISO, check this out. I highly recommend playing in a lab first. So, full disclosure, last thing, you'll see all my videos. I did it in a virtual machine. Please, that's not a best practice. We recommend the hardened repo as a physical system. But to make videos, that was easier. All right. First of all, Veeam 100 helping Veeam 100 here. Michael Paul let Der Regnor, Max, do a guest post on his own Veeam recap, which I thought was pretty cool. Scroll through here quickly. I'll pull out one picture, two pictures actually in particular. It's nice to see this recap. Thank you for writing this up, Max. It's funny, I didn't even go to some of those places. That's awesome. There's so many different experiences, but I want to highlight one thing right here, the scoreboard. I mean, Maddie, wasn't it awesome how many Veeam 100 were on this list?
Absolutely. Max could have got that prize.
Ah, so close.
Can you believe it? So close. Look at that.
V-Note not very far off either. Just saying.
Yeah, true. And then you have Preben as well.
And then let's see, Chris, Nathan's former member. We got Justin, a new member. Or yeah, he's a new member.
Wow, so many Veeam 100 on there, right?
Yeah,
We
but
have really
that was so
smart people
fun.
in our program, Rick.
I
Have to
know.
have to say that.
Yeah. And then, oh, the party. Oh, and look at that kit of swag. Let's zoom into that. Now, you were telling me, Maddie, there was one thing on here that was kind of cool. Which one was it?
Well, it was the Veeam protected.
Yeah, protected by
Yeah,
Veeam sticker.
protected by Veeam sticker. That was Max's idea, and Safia helped him put that in practice. And we had these kind of stickers at the VeeamON in Miami. And
Nice.
I took some to Turkey, and we're gonna have some in Bucharest as well. I sent some, I think, in Italy and Germany. So it's great.
Nice.
Everyone
I
might get one.
I didn't get all of these different. I did not. I missed out. I didn't cover it enough. He got the Alfred green shirt, which April M is wearing that a lot in the office now. That's cool. I love this
You,
new pin. I did get
you got the
that.
towel as well.
Yeah, the towel underneath. Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
stuff. Thanks for writing that up and sharing, Max. All right, last two things I want to bring up real quick are two KBs that caught my eye. And across the 2 weeks, one the week I was out last week, and then this week, this is the first one. It's around an update to Secure Boot for Windows. This can impact recovery media for Veeam Agent for Windows. So highly recommend if you have Windows, first of all, make sure you have your recovery media. So this is also a good reminder. If you haven't done it, please do it. But you could update the media you have, and then update the system, and then create a new recovery media as it's mentioned here. Note that new actions should be okay, because if you have the update when you build the media, you should be okay. Um, of course, for older situations, you could, disable Secure Boot, but that kind of defeats the whole purpose of having Secure Boot. But if you're using Secure Boot with the agent for Windows, you might want to do an update to the recovery media. Next one is actually one of the fun, I don't say fun, but one of the just kind of smaller enhancements that came with V12 was this banner text here. So if you had a confidential Veeam server, you could mark confidential. Or if you had something that was development and test, you could mark development and test, et cetera, et cetera. In this KB article 4458, it actually tells you how to enable and configure this text, the stripe itself, and then the color. So you can have some fun with this. So I wanted to highlight that. But man, Maddie, so much going on. We talked about the pictures, but you know what? We also did not forget this year. Looks like I forgot a lot of my reminders, but I'll let
Who's
that go.
new? Who's
Who's
new?
new? That's right. We
Let's
do
go
have
for
it.
it. Wow,
So
plus 100. That's great.
yeah. So thank you, Sophia, for preparing this for us. Some good names in the list here. I'm looking through here. Let's see, who would I pick for a favorite? Well, let's see what our coolest usernames are this week. I didn't pick these. These are all Sophia's picks. All these are cool.
Dragon. Look at
Quality
that.
socks. That's cute.
Yeah, that's so creative. Quality socks.
Blank. I love that. Shy
Shy
Fox.
Fox.
These are cool. These are cool.
Really cool. Yes, love it.
Yeah, these are awesome. And then Alfred's pick is Veeam Queen. All hail the
Wow,
Queen.
we have a Veeam
Whoa,
queen.
we've
Who's
got a
that?
Veeam
Now I
Queen.
have to investigate
Yeah.
on that.
Love that name. That is
Yeah.
awesome. I guess, it's kind of funny, Maddie. Every time we have Veeam in the name, we seem to always call it. I don't know if that's giving everybody a automatic, automatic entry on the who's new, but just saying.
But I mean, it's cool how, Veeam queen, come on.
Yeah,
How can you not choose that?
gotta like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, I make no mistake. Maddie prepares all this stuff. So big thank you, Maddie, for the prep this week.
Well, this week, actually, you contributed a lot with all the KBs, a lot of information, the hardened repository, so many things that you added. So
Well,
it
sometimes.
It was
Sometimes.
half this week,
All right.
Rick.
All right. Well, we'll have to figure out what we're doing next week. I got a busy week next week too, but we'll find a way. And then thank you everyone for watching. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend.